The impact has already happened. Metal groans in the rain as the engine dies, and something unseen moves just beyond the headlights. A second figure gasps beside her, clutching a wristwatch as if counting down something invisible. The forest feels too close. Neither speaks about what they hit. The road ahead is empty, but the darkness behind them feels occupied. The door refuses to open on one side, forcing them out together into the rain. Water drowns out everything, except a faint dragging sound. They circle the vehicle and finally see it. What they struck is already gone. Only streaks remain, leading into the trees. The silence stretches too long. Then a distant snap echoes from the forest, deliberate and heavy. They retreat into the car, locking doors that suddenly feel useless. The storm grows louder, as if covering something approaching. A call goes out for help, but the signal cuts in and out. Coordinates are sent, though neither believes rescue will arrive soon. Headlights appear in the distance. Relief comes too quickly, like something rehearsed. A tow truck pulls in, engine rumbling low. The driver steps out slowly, scanning the trees before the wreck. He speaks calmly, but his eyes never settle. He asks questions they didn't think to ask themselves. The repair begins under the car. Metal clinks echo too sharply, as if something beneath is answering back. Inside, the ticking wristwatch becomes unbearable. Each second feels like it's syncing with something outside. A shadow passes across the headlights. Too large, too slow, and gone before either can react. The driver pauses beneath the car. He hears it too now, something circling, just beyond sight. A request for a bag sends one of them toward the tow truck. The distance suddenly feels far longer than it should. The truck door is locked. Behind her, the forest shifts again, closer now, breathing through the rain. She hears something dragging through wet leaves. Not approaching, circling. Measuring distance. Back at the car, the driver suddenly shouts. His voice cuts off mid-word, replaced by a wet, violent silence. Something pulls him into the darkness in a single motion. The forest closes again, leaving only the rain, and the waiting. For a moment, nothing moves. Then a faint scraping sound returns, closer than before, circling the vehicle with patient precision. The second figure backs away from the tow truck, realizing she is exposed. The distance back to the car suddenly feels impossible. A low impact hits the truck from the opposite side, unseen but heavy enough to shake metal. It isn't testing, it's learning. She runs. The rain blinds her, but the sound behind her adjusts, matching her speed exactly. The door slams shut just as something collides with the side of the car. The frame bends inward with a violent crunch. They don't scream. The silence between them becomes survival, broken only by breathing and the ticking watch. A shape crosses the headlights again, lower this time, moving on too many points of contact to count. The engine refuses to start. The battery flickers once, then fades, plunging them into a darker kind of visibility. Outside, the tow truck horn blares suddenly. Not pressed, held down. Something is leaning on it. The sound stops abruptly. Then comes a slow tapping against the car window, deliberate and rhythmic. They refuse to look directly at it. Instinct tells them attention is invitation. The tapping stops. In its place, a wet dragging sound circles toward the rear of the car. The rear glass cracks, not shattered, just enough to let something test the opening. A decision forms without words. Staying inside is no longer safer, it's slower. They burst out together, running opposite directions. The forest reacts instantly, choosing one. The one left near the road hears movement shift away from her. Relief comes, but feels wrong. Deep in the trees, branches snap rapidly. The forest absorbs the sound, then returns it closer. She trips, hitting the ground hard. The ticking watch continues, louder now against the silence. Something lands nearby, heavy enough to shake the ground. But it doesn't strike. It waits. Back at the road, the other figure hears nothing. That silence becomes unbearable, forcing her to move again. She reaches the tow truck and finds the door open now. It wasn't before. Inside, the radio crackles faintly. A voice tries to come through, but it's distorted, repeating fragments. The fragments aren't random. They echo words she spoke earlier, played back out of order. She shuts it off instantly. The silence that follows feels watched. From the forest, a sudden scream cuts through the rain, then stops too abruptly to be natural. The one at the truck runs toward the sound. It's a mistake she recognizes even as she commits to it. She finds disturbed ground, deep impressions pressed into mud. None match any animal she knows. The tracks circle her position. They were never leading away, they were enclosing. A branch drops nearby. Not fallen, placed. The pattern is becoming intentional. She backs away slowly, refusing to turn around. The forest behind her remains unseen, and too quiet. A sudden rush of air passes her shoulder. Something just moved past her, without touching. Back near the fallen figure, the other one realizes the forest is no longer random. It's coordinated. She hears her own voice from somewhere ahead, calling out, distorted and delayed. It repeats again, closer this time. Not memory, imitation. She turns to run, but stops. The path behind her is no longer there. Back at the road, the wrecked car alarm suddenly activates, flashing weak light into the trees. The light reveals movement, brief, unnatural, retreating the moment it's seen. A realization forms, it avoids light, but not completely. It studies it. The ticking watch stops suddenly. In the forest, that silence spreads like a signal. Everything pauses. Then, from all directions at once, the forest begins to move toward them. The movement isn't wind. Trunks shift inches at a time, narrowing space, funneling both of them toward the same unseen center. The one deeper in the forest begins moving again, forced forward by closing paths. Every direction now leads somewhere intentional.